Okay, so it seems that we have a little bit of a situation from almost a kind of like past thing that has gone on and has kind of propped up again, and it's all to do with this stream where essentially it was on a creator accelerator stream, which included the CEO of Twitch, obviously Dan Clancy, and also a cat and chat or Catliente, I think that's how you say it. And obviously we talked about her before with some of the situations she's had in the VTubing space, which obviously a lot of people were not happy about. Now, they said, I disagreed with Dan Clancy when he said that lurkers is a negative term. I said it's not, he said it is, and my follow-up question was automotive for no reason. I honestly don't understand how Twitch works anymore. So yeah, obviously, you know, this is a conversation about Twitch and lurkers, right? Which obviously is a topic on its own in terms of like, you know, lurkers tend to be kind of, I guess, not villainized, but, you know, yeah, like, as he said, it's like a negative term, which I don't think it is. I think lurkers actually help a lot of streamers, and I think that Twitch itself doesn't like lurkers because, of course, it doesn't help them with their engagement and all that kind of stuff. But it does help the streamers massively, and that's why we see a lot of lurkers being taken away from view counts and stuff at the moment with the whole, you know, op moderation system. But regardless of that, the main topic has been obviously not just the actual topic at hand in terms of the lurker just definition thing. It's been more so the fact that Cat has been essentially, you know, platformed, obviously, in terms of, you know, talking with the Twitch CEO and all that kind of stuff, which some people have, you know, gave us a little bit of a reminder of what has happened in the past, including aliciaxlife, who obviously was pretty heavily affected by her during this time, and obviously saying a reminder that the girl interviewing Dan Clancy is the person who doxed my entire government name. My middle name was never public because I'm named after my aunt who passed away. She also clickbaited my cancer in her video title and lied saying I beat it when I didn't, causing my friends to reach out to me and fans freaking out in excitement. Just for me to cry and break their hearts and say, no, I'm still fighting, which obviously, yeah, it sucks, right? And you know, I don't think it's a good thing to really clickbait anybody's kind of, you know, situation like that. I don't think it is good at all. But of course, yeah, she was very heavily affected by it because, you know, not only did she use the kind of, you know, cancer as something as like a clickbait topic or whatever, but also said that she beat it when she didn't. I mean, that's not good at all, because as you know, she says she has to explain to everybody now that she's still going through it, which obviously is a pretty hard thing to explain to a lot of people, and obviously it really did affect her, right? And of course, you know, there's been a lot of people that have been 100% on her side because it was a pretty horrible thing to happen, right? And, you know, got people saying, and that's why I don't have Twitch, I just don't trust my data with them enough. I've seen enough, which obviously, you know, is fair enough. But people saying, ooh, I'm so sorry this happened to you. You know, saying, I first found her when she did the breakdown of monetary analytics to give me better insight. Then I found out her entire content is structured around drama and tea, gossip farming, and immediately muted. Which, again, obviously you guys know I cover a lot of drama. I think, you know, I'm not the biggest hater of drama content. Of course, I think, you know, people are allowed to make it, but of course there is a difference between, you know, clickbaiting people's cancer and you know, just covering drama, right? I think those are two separate things, as well as like news and things like that as well. You know, some people definitely have a little bit of a line, you know, and there's a lot of people out there who like watching, you know, the odd drama video, whether you watch my videos, whether it's VTuber drama or whether it's streamer drama in general, right? There's a lot of people out there who also cover general streamer drama as well, right? People enjoy that kind of content, but obviously whenever it starts getting taken to a point where, you know, she's saying stuff like, you know, she's beaten cancer and all of that kind of stuff, of course it's, you know, it gets a little bit, you know, too far, and especially as well, you know, revealing apparently you know, her entire government name with her middle name, which of course, you know, you should never do, especially in a drama video as well, right? Of course, if you want to cover a situation that is going on like I do, and, you know, kind of just talk about it from the publicly available information, the ones, you know, the stuff that is actually out there on Twitter from the creators themselves, you know, go ahead. I don't think there's any problem with that, and I think a lot of people would say there isn't any problem with that. You know, for example, like a tweet like this. Of course, you know, it's pretty much fair game because it's a post, but whenever you're, you know, revealing like government names and things like that, it's like, what the hell? And also, you know, stuff like with the cancer and all that kind of stuff as well, it's like, you know, it's weird. And this wasn't the only situation as well. It wasn't just Alicia that was just affected by her, you know, as bad as it was. There was also the whole Doki Bird situation as well, which obviously it was all over the PC builder situation, which obviously, yeah, there was like a whole pretty one-sided video against Doki Bird, and then Doki Bird ended up rebuttaling a lot of the information and kind of proved her wrong, and that's when a lot of people started to really get annoyed, right? Obviously, there's this first situation. I'm pretty sure this one happened first with Alicia, and then Doki Bird, you know, came in and all of that kind of stuff, and then that's what kind of, you know, got her a lot of hate. There was a lot of hate on her channel at the time. There was like, you know, her videos were being spammed with dislikes every single video because, again, you know, she'd straight up lied about Doki Bird, and it was pretty, you know, horrible to see, you know, the kind of reactions that, you know, she was getting, Doki Bird was getting, and of course then she went and proved everyone wrong. And yeah, a lot of people were like, wait, hold up a minute. So we've just been lied to, you know, we've been told false information. And of course, that is something that a lot of people don't like whenever it comes to, you know, drama stuff. And sure, you can like speculate about things that are maybe kind of like non-big issues, right? You know, you can speculate about things that people don't really care about, and that like it's not really going to affect anybody, right? Because I've done that before. You know, for example, we talk about the Fillion stuff, right? There's a ton of theories and speculations about where Fillion is in terms of a hiatus, and I don't think it really affects anybody to talk about those. But I think whenever it comes to stuff like, you know, pretty heavy topics like Alicia's topics, as well as, you know, the whole PC builder stuff, which is a pretty serious topic, I don't think there should be much room for speculation there either, right? And again, obviously, you know, there are some different things whenever it comes to drama channels, but you know, at the end of the day, it is good to keep it truthful and to keep it kind of, you know, full of things that, you know, have been kind of verified by the creator themselves, or, you know, whatever other kind of source you have, right? Whereas with the Doki Bird one, it seems like it went pretty bad, right? It went pretty bad in terms of, you know, just kind of a lot of things just being straight up wrong. And of course, you know, she could have apologized and all of that. And again, I don't know if she did fully apologize. I think she made like a tweet at one point. But again, I don't think it was near enough for people to be like, okay, that's fair enough. You take an accountability for getting something wrong. You know, we'll support you or whatever. I don't think that ever happened. So that's why people continued to, you know, be mad at her, because there wasn't like this full apology thing, which went on where it was like believable enough to be like, okay, sure, you know, people mess up, that's fine. But there just wasn't that. And so, of course, people continued to, you know, hate on her and everything like that because of all of those situations. And, you know, I think it's fair enough, because there wasn't that really, you know, moment of accountability that people wanted from that situation. So, yeah, people are still not happy with her, it seems like. And obviously, it seems that she's getting a lot of opportunities whenever it comes to talking to the CEO of Twitch and stuff. And, you know, people like Alicia, you know, obviously, as well as a lot of Doki Bird fans. I'm pretty sure I saw a few quote retweets and stuff being like, isn't this the person who said the stuff about Doki Bird? I'm pretty sure it was, you know, saying, Dan Class, who's interviewed by Taylor Lorenz, which obviously, yeah, is crazy, saying, why is she even still around? Crazy to me that she still has a platform. You know, this is what a lot of people are saying, right? Saying she's still a freak, and I don't say this lightly, but her journalism is unprofessional and absolutely lacking of empathy, and it's hurt quite a few people, right? And again, I don't watch, you know, Kat's content. I don't know what, you know, I don't know what she says. I don't know how empathetic she is and stuff towards people, so I couldn't really tell you that. But again, obviously, it seems like a lot of people are not happy, right? And people saying Twitch, stop platforming people like this, impossible. Saying it's not surprising that Dan is streaming with her. He only associates with them as vile people on the platform, which is obviously, yeah, something that a lot of people are saying. And obviously, as well, there's been some other kind of replies too, saying, I want to be clear, I'm not saying there's some sort of conspiracy against me or anything. It's all just an inconsistency and recycled. Obviously, they're talking about the lurkers thing. Saying Dan knows nothing about this platform. He just wants to be a streamer. I knew he didn't think lurkers mattered. He's just going to push them all out on other platforms that make them feel like they matter, which is why I think it's smart to multi-stream so they can watch from. So obviously, Rosie says here, I think you should be the next person to be on the interview. You are well spoken, which I think, yeah, it's fair enough. And Rosie did make a good point. I don't know if it's here. I don't know if it's one of the... Yeah, here we go. Rosie actually brought up the Doki Bird stuff too, saying, you know, I've been debating bringing it up, but this is the girl that made drama content that was incorrect about Doki Bird a while back. The one who pivoted from streamer advice to VTuber drama and didn't do any due diligence. The girl sitting next to Dan, if it matters. And obviously, yeah, that's what people have been kind of discussing about, saying the Doki was the worst one because she fabricated the Google Doki, and Doki is a huge streamer that everyone seems to like, but she had done similar before when talking about VTuber drama. So yeah, there was like other elements, right, which made the situation worse, I feel like, or at least kind of speculated elements that made it worse in terms of, you know, they're saying like she edited the Google Doki and whatever, fabricated, sorry, which of course, you know, that can also turn people against you, because it's one thing just being wrong in a drama video, right? You know, people were going to be like, oh, you're wrong. And, you know, you could do whatever with that information. You can ignore it. You can kind of, what do you call it? You know, take accountability, change it, edit it, whatever. And that's all fine and good, right? Because, of course, you know, maybe you just get one thing wrong, and it depends on what you get wrong as well. If you get like a really big element of the situation wrong, then you're kind of screwed and you got to delete your video, right? But I think if it's like a small thing that maybe it's just like, oh, her hair's red, not blue, you know, something like that, you know, sometimes you could just change it or say, oh, sorry, my bad, didn't mean to do that, which again, I think is pretty understandable. But, you know, it starts getting to a point where people were talking about like editing Google Docs and stuff like that, which of course is then just kind of manipulating a situation into something that it's not, which is when people kind of cross the line of drama content, right? There's drama content in terms of covering what is going on, maybe giving an opinion about it, and then there's drama content of, you know, Google Docs and then like kind of editing them and, you know, all of this kind of stuff and going beyond kind of the source material and then kind of adding more on, which I think, of course, you know, a lot of people don't like, and I think it's fair enough. And, you know, people don't like drama tubers or whatever, like, including me, you know, obviously, it's very, very, you know, obvious that not everybody enjoys that kind of content, and I think that's fine, right? I don't think anybody needs to enjoy all sorts of content the same way that I don't enjoy other certain kinds of content, whether it's, to be fair, I don't even watch drama content myself, unless it's like, you know, something absolutely crazy. So again, I can understand why people don't, but yeah, obviously there is a difference between whenever it comes to, you know, stuff like, you know, a lot of the VTuber news that I do and, you know, a lot of the Doki Bird kind of accusations and stuff that Kat was bringing out against her, which of course kind of crosses that line, which is the line that a lot of people dislike whenever it comes to VTuber drama and just drama in general, saying Caliente has been socially cancelled for years now because of her art criticisms, which also, yeah, apparently she's not very liked in terms of art either. I'm pretty sure that's what she used to do, or I think she does now still as well, is art, like drama, like artist drama, whether it's VTuber art or like regular art. Apparently that's something that's also you know, done. So she made a video of me once, might have been the only time she swiveled from calling out VTubers, saying she also clickbaited people about, yeah, aliciaxlife, obviously, saying, I don't really think she ever left. I think maybe she didn't upload a video for a couple of weeks, but her content has continued for some time. I think she just gets less engagement now. Said no, but I think people maybe don't know her history if they don't keep up. I think it's best just to be cautious. So yeah, obviously a lot of the kind of meanings of these posts from Rosie and also from Alicia as well is to kind of, I guess, remind people. And I think that is the main kind of thing that they want to kind of, I guess, share, right? I think it's not like supposed to be one of these big like call out posts, because we know this stuff, so we know this stuff has happened, right? We know all of the situation. It's just more so for the people that are new, people that don't keep up so much or whatever, that maybe don't know obviously the past and everything that's you know, going on, saying, yeah, I can see why you'd be hesitant to bring her up. I see it as one of those things where you can talk, sorry, where you want to talk it, but you don't want to give her any attention. If she's going around pulling some bad stunts, I think she needs to be called out for it for sure. And, you know, she has been called out for it. And, you know, there has been that backlash that has come from her being called out for it. It's just more so, I think, yeah, them spreading the information, saying, you know, if no one mentions it, I feel the information is something that helps going in with if you watch it, then I'll say so. There's new streamers every day that don't know unless you let them know too, which, yeah, is the thing, right? It's not new. This isn't new. We've known this stuff has gone on. She hasn't done anything else, I think. I don't know. Again, I don't really keep caught up. But again, it was just more so that she's been, you know, having some pretty big opportunities, and some people are just reminding them of past situations, saying, agree, I didn't want to say anything, saying maybe I shouldn't have, but I felt if people every day are new here and not always have the context with who they're watching, etc., saying, oh, she's hugely controversial for sure, but in this case, she's correct. And obviously, yeah, you know, saying she's not the one who made the post, but anyone could tell you lurkers matter, grass is green, lol, which, yeah, obviously, you know, I think it's one of those situations where yeah, people were just trying to remind others of what has happened in the past, and essentially just warning them like, hey, you know, just know what you're getting into if you become a fan or whatever, because there has been this like kind of past stuff, right? But yeah, I mean, that is essentially all there is for this video. I just kind of wanted to, you know, talk about it a little bit because, again, it was some pretty big news a couple of months ago, whenever it did kind of go off. And it seems like, yeah, a lot of VTubers are bringing it up again, as, you know, there is this whole kind of collaboration with Dan Clancy, the CEO of Twitch now, after all of this stuff has gone on, which I think is pretty crazy on Twitch's end as well, to kind of be, you know, publicly collabing with someone who's been in such hot water. But again, you know, at the end of the day, you know, what can you do? I mean, it's just one of these things that happens, and hopefully people just find out what has gone on naturally and through these posts and whatever, and hopefully that's all we can hope for, right? But yeah, that's probably all I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. So yeah.